Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I am really excited to have current European Cruiserweight Champion Tommy McCarthy. How you doing, mate?
All good, all good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks so much for being on. Um, Quickly then, how's COVID affected you at all? Because I know you fought, obviously, on the Usyk Chisora card. We'll touch upon that in a little bit because that was a really, really impressive win. But apart from that, has COVID affected you at all? You're based in Belfast, aren't you? I think.
Yeah, well, I'm from Belfast, I live in Belfast, but I train out of Dublin. So it hasn't been too in terms of training and that it hasn't had a major effect, but it's been just a wee bit annoying because uh the restrictions are changing from flipping week to week, day to day sometimes. And so sometimes when I'm going to do like strength and conditioning sessions, the gym's closed. I can get in the boxing gyms because I'm an elite athlete, but to get into the public gyms to do my strength work has been a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah, that's I guess the only upside, isn't it, that you're being able to go into boxing gyms because of the exemption. But yeah, it doesn't seem ideal for an athlete such as yourself, obviously, at the moment. As you said, it's changing day to day. So quickly, I just wanted to see whether you could touch upon how you got into boxing and your journey, because I did a bit of research and reading into it, and it seems quite interesting.
Well, I always been a boxing fan, but like I don't come from a boxing family, and my father was working with a guy who was a boxing coach in the Albert Plunkett gym. His name's Seamus Deeds, and before my daddy was working with him, we thought that because I've always been big for my age, thought I would have been fighting older guys. But then Shamey Deeds explained that it goes no like the underage you fight in your age group and the weight category. So Seamus Deeds one day brought me down to a boxing club and that was it. I was just fell in love with it from day one. It was just from the first moment that I walked in the club, I just loved everything about boxing. The noise, the smell, just the vibe. It was just I loved it.
Yeah, no, I think when I talked to Tyrone, he had a similar thing. I know you guys are really close, and I think you guys met, didn't you,
And
quite a
the
while
boxing
back?
club, yeah.
Yeah, in the boxing
We
club.
yeah
Yeah. So that's really amazing, actually, that you guys have kind of come up together and you've developed together. So that's really cool. Um,
yeah.
so obviously you beat Bilal Lagoon in a really impressive display on that Usyk Chisora show. Firstly, I found your post-fight interview. It was a little bit touching, actually, to me because you cited that you were the first Black Irish European champ, and it was Black History Month at the time as well. You also said that you want the big names, and you mentioned Maris Breidis, who obviously has just won the WBSS and is kind of regarded as the number one cruiserweight at the moment. Uh, Firstly, how did you find that display? Were you really impressed with yourself with that victory, and is that who you want next? Are you looking for the big names like Breidis?
Well, first we'll talk about the performance first. It was a good performance. It was solid. I know like I have so much more to give, but prior to the fight, I broke my hand in the camp, so it was more like I knew it was going to be a tough fight because Bilal, if you look at his record, he's been like at the European level for a while, and he's fought some big punchers and went 12 rounds with him, and he was a pro, even though he's a couple of years younger than me. He's been a pro since 2012, so he had like more experience and more fights and all that. So I knew it was going to be like a hard night's work. But the injury, it was like it was so that was just playing on my mind, and but I just needed the fight because it was the only chance I would get the fight in 2020, and it's such a massive show like um on a pay per view in Wembley, like Usyk, one of the biggest pound for pound name in the sport at the minute. Like it was just too much of an opportunity not to turn down, and that fight, that's my year's wages. Do you know what I mean? So I needed that right before Christmas. and all that stuff. So that's what I told my team. Says, look, if even if my arm is hanging off, I'm still gonna fight. Like because more than anything, I needed the money. Like that was, but so I was happy enough with our performance, and yeah, I want Breidis next. Breidis is the top dog. He's the number one in the weight, and it's like now at the time, I know I can beat him. I went to sparring camp with him before, and I know how to beat him. I'm so confident of beating him, and I know I raised a few eyebrows when I called him out, but that's the guy. That's that's who I'll have. Even if I won any other of the major world titles, you still have to beat him to be universally recognized as the best cruiserweight in the world. And I know I can beat him, so that's what I want next.
No, 100%. I can see why you'd want that, and it shows how ambitious you are as well. That you want to take on the best, and I think you see fighters when they want to fight the best. That's what obviously the public wants to see as well. So for you, you said that you were in camp with them actually. So how did you find that with Maris Breidis in camp?
Well, my third daughter had just been born about a week and a half before I got the call to go, and they wanted me to go out for a few weeks. But I said, I can't leave my wife with a newborn on her own, and hadn't really been training either, because I'd just been taken over. So I says I'll come out for a week because once again, it was like just to get the bit of money, and I said to myself, well, I asked them the question first. I said, how many days sparring is it and how many rounds? He says they're going to do 3 days sparring and you won't do any more than 6 rounds. I says, well, 6 rounds. I'll be able to hold a beating for 6 rounds. Like I can survive for 6 rounds easy. Because I knew that Breidis was getting ready for a big fight. He was actually fighting in the World Series.
Yeah.
So I was going, he's going to be bouncing out of his skin. And when I watched him before against Usyk, like he gave Usyk a run for his money, proper hard fight. So I was expecting to go over and just get punched up. And then the first day I got there, the other sparring partner hadn't arrived. Jack Massey was the other sparring partner. He got delayed or something, so it was just me, and I surprised myself with like how easy I was handling the sparring. And then when Jack arrived the next day, I said to him, Jack, I don't know if he's messing about or he's just trying to get a feel for me, but this sparring is handy. Like there was nothing to worry about. And then we sparred the next day, and the same again. And then the next sparring session, I was like, I'll box the head clean off this guy. Like if I ever get the opportunity to fight him, I'm grabbing him with both hands. So the week that I spent out there, I seen what I needed to see, and I know how to beat him. Very, very confident to beat him.
Oh no, that's really good insight actually. That you can say it's a little bit of a spy mission almost then. If hopefully you
Yeah,
get to fight him in the future.
and that's what happens. A lot of fighters spar each other before the fight, and it's a similar situation with Tony Bellew and David Hay. And when Bellew called out Hay, even myself, I thought it was insane. I was like,
Yeah,
what is he doing? Like David Hay is the most dangerous guy in flipping in boxing. Like, I thought, Jesus, like Hay knock him clean out. But then the similar thing, like Hay and Bellew sparred early in Bellew's career, and Bellew said he punched the head of him sparring, so he knew he could beat him, and he was right.
yeah, him and David Price, wasn't it? There's that really famous story about
Yeah,
them sparring. So, okay, so you said about you obviously want a world title fight, Breidis. So are we looking at you in a world title fight in the SSE Arena, Belfast? Is that the dream?
that's the dream. That's the goal, and it's not a dream. That's the target. You've seen James Tennyson at the weekend, yesterday, no Friday, and Eddie Hearn said that when the crowds come in, we're bringing the big fights back to Belfast, and what bigger than double world title header, me fighting Breidis or any of the world champions. It doesn't matter who it is, and James Tennyson against someone for a world title. So I'm confident that it's going to happen.
You know what? It's great that you just mentioned James Tennyson because I was literally about to ask you about him. I saw that you put a bet on him as well, and obviously you made a little bit of money. How good is James Tennyson? Because I think you are a little bit close to him, aren't you? I think you have a
Yeah,
relationship
me
with
and
him.
him, we have the same management, the same manager, and he's from the next estate up for me anyway, so like I know him. But James, he's just a great guy, just a real nice, genuine guy, and he's just an absolute powerhouse. Like hold on. He just pumped my daughter trying to get in.
No worries. She can say hi if she wants. No worries.
Yeah, no, he's just a phenomenal punching machine. Like he literally would punch a hole through a brick wall. He's just, and then Hearn said I agreed with him. You could put him in the ring with any lightweight in the world, and he has a chance. Like so, he's I definitely fancy him to be the next lightweight world champion.
Yeah, he's really got dynamite in both hands, hasn't he? He's really exciting since he's moved up to lightweight. Johnny Nelson made a very interesting remark after the fight, and he said that he thinks James Tennyson could beat Gervonta Davis. Now, on social media, there's a bit of uproar to say, what's he talking about? But you know James Tennyson quite well, and as you said, he's got a chance against anyone. I can see why. How do you see that fight going? Do you think he could beat him?
Yeah, that like how hard he punches, he can beat anyone. And Johnny said some ridiculous things regarding Gervonta Davis. Like he said, oh, he hasn't fought anyone of note, or he hadn't fought anyone. He's got the skills. He hadn't fought anyone with his power. Like boxing people know how good Gervonta Davis is, and he's so young as well. Like so that fight, I think it's like James could definitely beat him, and it's a fight that it's a fan friendly fight because the two of them. I think Gervonta Davis is like an American version of James Tennyson, humble guy. Don't do too much talking. From like a hard back, like the underprivileged background, representing for the working class, and can just knock people stone dead. That's the both of them are the exact same, kind of personas. So it's a great fight. I would love to see it.
Yeah, that's a really interesting comparison. Actually, might have to use that at some point in one of my videos. Really good comparison.
Feel free.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn actually he did mention you in the interview with James Tennyson. He did say he mentioned you, and I remember hearing that and thinking, "That's great! I've got an interview lined up with Tommy McCarthy. This is great! Yeah, I can't wait to interview him." Okay, so what? Also, I saw that you watched the Billy Joe Saunders Martin Murray fight. What do you think of Billy Joe's performance, and do you think he's got a chance against Canelo if Canelo was to beat Callum Smith?
So, yeah, I think Billy Joe Saunders is one of the most like exceptional boxers that ever come out of the UK. And see what he does. It's not flashy, and it's all like subtle things that he does, but he does them like so well. The way he controls the distance, the punches that he picks, like people say, "Oh, it wasn't a great performance." No, like a lot of times after he fights, people think they don't give him the praise he deserves for the performances. But I think he deals with everyone the same way. He just takes away anything what somebody's good at. He takes it away from them, and I thought he dealt with Murray the way he should have because Murray's a dangerous guy. It's very unlikely that somebody would stop him. So he didn't take any chances, and he boxed like two of the judges gave him every round. Like you can't. And Murray's not a bum. Murray's should be a 2-time world champion. Murray's a world level fighter, and the win, like have a shutout win, like it. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully, I think Martin Murray may retire after that. But as you said, probably.
I think he beats Canelo. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
Sorry, I forgot.
that's all right. Yeah, you think he beats Canelo? Okay.
Yeah, I think he does. really do.
Okay.
And Canelo struggles with boxers big time. Uh, he struggled. I know Mayweather's the ultimate boxer, but he couldn't do nothing with Mayweather.
Yeah.
I thought Miguel Cotto should have won against him.
Yeah. Lara was a close fight as well.
Yeah, Lara, I thought should have won. So Billy Joe Saunders is that southpaw out and out boxer. I think he'll win.
Interesting to see. Hopefully, obviously, as we're from UK, Northern Ireland, etc., we probably want to see Callum Smith beat Canelo. But if Canelo does come through that, I think Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo is a really interesting matchup. I just want to touch upon then another fight that was a bit of an upset: Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon Arthur. I
Did
thought
you
it
see
was
my
a really
prediction
good
for
fight.
that one? Is that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
that
that.
one is that?
I saw that. You must have been in the money, man. Lyndon Arthur, and who do you have? James Tennyson and Billy Joe Saunders. Nice little accumulator.
Harlem Eubank was the other one.
Harlem Eubank. Yeah, he
Yeah.
boxed really well, didn't he, in
Yeah.
MTK Global Show? But Anthony Yarde obviously lost to Lyndon Arthur, which is a little bit of an upset because Anthony Yarde was the favourite going in. What did you think of the fight? And did you agree with the decision? Did you think Lyndon Arthur won that? It was a really tight one for me.
It was a close one. Like if Yarde had got it, you couldn't have said anything. It was really, really close. I actually felt it was kind of all square going into the. Like I was saying, whoever, because it was so close. Whoever won the last round, I saying will win the fight, and then Yarde won the last round, but it still went Arthur's way. But it's one of them fights. It was just so close. But some of the people in the WhatsApp group, they had Arthur winning the big, and I don't know if you saw my prediction on Twitter, the video, but the fight went exactly the way I thought it would go. Arthur, sneaking the rounds behind the jab, the early rounds, building up the good lead, and then when it got to the championship rounds, it was too late for Yarde to have a big push, but it was too late. Like Arthur had already got all the opening rounds, and his boxing skills kept him out of trouble at the end, and that's what happened. And Yarde obviously devastated, especially the lose on such a close fight. But Yarde's been to the mountaintop. You know, he fought for the world title, almost had Kovalev earlier, and was so close to being world champion. So to come back down the domestic level and then get beat, it's going to be hard for him to accept. But he can bounce back because he has a profile. He does have good skills and good potential, but he just needs to make a few adjustments with the background team and just remain focused. I see a lot of people on the internet in the comments all saying leave Tunde, get away from Tunde and all this. But I think obviously him and Tunde have been working with each other from the start, and they've got a good relationship and they're friends in it. So just bring somebody else in instead of leave. Just bring somebody else in to give a new perspective, because the way he's been going about it has got him so far. It's not going to get him to the next level where he belongs.
A little bit like AJ, I guess, with he brought in Fernandez in for to come and help with McCracken, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what people, just it's a team. But I know boxing is a one-man sport, but there's a team in the gym to help you. And if you like someone and you don't want to get rid of them, you want to keep them around instead of just leaving them and have been loyal to you. You can just bring somebody in to help. So I mean, it's a business decision.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right. I saw on social media a lot of people saying, two things: either leave Tunde alone or Tunde should get sacked. But I think you probably have the right idea that maybe they should just bring someone in, as you said, if he wants to keep Tunde around, because obviously they've got that
hard. Like they have a relationship, they're friends, and they have obviously a strong bond. So you could hardly just say, right, get out of there, Tunde, and never talk to them again. Just bring somebody in.
100%. Okay, so I want to touch upon one last fight. I don't know if you stayed up to watch it or you woke up, but Spence Garcia Did you manage to catch that?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Because Spence, obviously, after that car accident, there's a lot of question marks around how good he'd be after it. But I thought he was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he missed a step. He just straight back to where he was, and I think Spence is just a complete textbook boxer. You know, when a young person comes to the boxing club and you're teaching them, with the fundamentals are chin down, hands up, everything off a jab, and you know he does that for the perfection. The defense is perfect, and he just pumps the jab. He don't flick it. He bangs the jab in and just works behind it, and just yeah, he's exciting. He don't do anything. Don't do anything like extravagant. Everything's nice and basic, but he does it so well. It's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, he really is. Okay, what's your opinion? So Okolie, I don't know if you saw, but Lawrence Okolie fight against Glowacki, it looks like it has been called off. They're unsure about whether the fight will be for the vacant WBO cruiserweight belt next week. What do you think? Would you be ready for it? Would you be up for
Well,
it
you know,
this
I
time?
I phoned my manager and I said to him, look, throw my name in. He cracked up. He says, stop being stupid. You broke your hands. You're not ready. You're not going in with one hand. I was like, oh no, but sure. He says he just hung up the phone on me.
Yeah, probably rightly so. To be fair,
Yeah,
considering short notice, but I can see why you want it. I mean, it's. I know Eddie Hearn put out I think it was Instagram and tweet saying any top 10 cruiserweights, and it's funny because actually I did think of you, and I thought actually he's around, but obviously it's such short notice as you said.
yeah,
But that fight in the future, if he was to win the vacant belt next week, if they get a viable opponent, are you interested in that fight?
yeah. Most definitely. And that's an easy fight to make. If he wins the world
Yeah.
title, you know he's only in London. They want to bring the shows back to Belfast. It's a big fight. So like I broke my hand as I said and before I had fight. So I've just got the plaster off and I've got a splint on there. I have to go back to the hospital next week to get the review to get the all clear. So like I haven't been able to punch for the last
Hmm.
lot of weeks, and they says I can't punch for 6 weeks. So I think we're in the week 6 now. Maybe. But had that injury not happened, I'd 100% took it. Like late notice, it doesn't matter. Like I would have went in and rolled the dice because you're in this sport. Well, I'm in this sport, and I feel every professional should be in the sport to fight for world titles, and the opportunities they don't come around that often. So when it comes, you have to take it, and you literally have to gamble. You win that, your whole life's changed. If you get beat, then you took it a late notice. There's no shame, but everything to gain and nothing to lose.
No, 100%. That makes a lot of sense. To be fair, um, so you said that obviously you might be able to be back punching maybe next week or so, etc. Do you have your sights set on a specific date or time that you want to be back in the ring?
I would love to be back for March. March would be great. Um, but without the injury, we're looking at January to get back out, but March would be brilliant. And with Eddie saying that about coming back here, I think St. Patrick's Day, 17th of March, that would be massive in the SSC in Belfast. But we'll see what the doctors say next week anyway. Hopefully, it won't be any later than March. But I want to get out as soon as I can.
Yes, and Paddy's Day would be great, wouldn't it? What an atmosphere that would be with fans in there. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, the last thing I want to touch upon then is obviously Lawrence Okolie and someone that you fought, Richard Riakhpore. Um, are you interested in that rematch in the future? Are you looking at that? Are you looking to avenge that? Or are you looking to, I want to get my world title fight and then maybe look at him after?
Now, definitely, I want to set the record straight there because I know I can beat Richard, and a lapse of concentration just gave me a permanent blemish on my record. And it annoys me. But he's in a good position to fight for a world title. So I think he's number 3 with the WBA. So like,
Yeah.
if he, it would be great that if I wanted, say I won an R title, to have a unification fight with him, and then the fight would be even bigger. But even if it was just to fight him for the WBA title, just it's a fight that I definitely want to get, want to reverse.
There's a lot of really good cruiserweights. We've already mentioned, obviously, yourself, Okolie, and Riakhpore. So it's a really exciting time to be a cruiserweight in the UK for sure, and Northern Ireland included as well. Wow. Okay. Is there anything else you want to touch upon before we wrap up?
No, I think we had covered all the bases.
Yeah. Actually, one thing I wanted to say is I saw an article saying that you're looking to have 9 kids. How's that going on? I know you've got 4.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to get there?
I don't know. I think I've had to rethink that idea because it's all. It sounds great, like, and it's when I'm in camp and that, I'm not here all the time. But now I'm out of camp and I'm back in the house all day, every day. I'm like, it's tough. I don't know how my wife does it. So
Yeah. Well, including you and your missus, if you had 9, that's a football team, isn't it?
exactly. So don't know. It's tough. Like, well, one of my aunts. The reason why I always wanted to have 9 was because one of my aunts had 9 kids, and I used to love staying around their house because it was always buzzing. And like, there's 9 siblings, and then the siblings all have their own friend group, so their house was always jam packed and just like fun times. But I'm an only child, so I was like, I would want when I grow up, I want my house to be like this baby all the time. And I don't know, like, I think 4 is enough for now. Anyway, we'll see what
Yeah,
happens. I need a bigger house anyway if I'm gonna have any more. Never say never.
Yeah, never say never. And how did you end up supporting Celtic?
Just born into the culture, like, um, just that's it. Like, from I was born, I think my uncle just stuck a Celtic top on me, and then that's it. And then,
Yeah, I
but when
know.
I got older, see, as a child, I supported Tottenham. I always supported like Celtic and Tottenham. But then I think it was because my daddy supported Tottenham as well. And then once I got older, I was like, do you know what? I don't even want to support Spurs. I'm just gonna give all my support to Celtic. So that's what happened.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you so much, Tommy, for being on. Is there anything else you want to say or shout out before we end the interview?
Yeah, we'll just shout out my sponsors: Pick Physique, Northern Property, Lux, Aircore. Yeah, it's Cutting Edge. All who anybody else. If I forgot to, but the guys who's all been supporting my career, and if anybody else wants to come on board for sponsorship, just get at me on my social medias. Twitter and Instagram is the same. Tommy Mac 90. Tommy MAC 90. So yeah, join the team.
I'll put your social media in the description for this video as well when I release it. Yeah, thanks so much again for being on, and yeah, stay safe as well. And I hope you and your family as well stay safe and well.
Yes,
and good luck as well for future fights. And I can't wait to see you back in the ring. And hopefully you get that world title fight. Breidis, here we come.
Yep, you better believe.
Thank you.
All right.